Welcome to another episode of Kai-Zen Consciousness. Today's topic is cultivating self-leadership. Welcome, Kai-Zen is here. This is Kai-Zen Consciousness, where you can learn to master your life from the inside out. Okay, so Kaizen is the practice of solving problems through continuous improvement. This starts when the leadership of an organization allows for a culture that first off can freely admit where there are problems and that there even actually are problems. So where does it all begin? Well, it starts when the leadership starts to practice truly exquisite self-leadership. Self-leadership is about monitoring and moderating oneself. Now, Scott Jeffrey likens this to mature adulthood. Now, in an age when most Americans live in a mental state of mental adolescence, it really and truly is a challenge to try and step into the role of self-mastery, self-discipline. Here we realize that we are responsible for ourselves. I mean, that includes warts and all, right? You begin by disciplining yourself. Okay, this would be physically, psychically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. All these domains are yours and you are responsible for them. A good place to look where you stand to do a beginning inventory is when you look at your self-talk. All that chatter that goes on in the back of your mind, that narrator that's busy all day long and sometimes in your sleep. As you begin and start to do the work in this area of self-leadership, you'll start to actualize yourself. You'll start to find out who you really are. More and more will you figure out, find out, and truly understand who you are. So you're going to practice what I refer to as being true, T-R-U-E. The T stands for being truthful. The R stands for being rooted, which means grounded. The U stands for understanding, which is connection, connectivity. And then E stands for enlightened self-interest. I'll leave another link as well because that is a video I've done before as well. So you can see that a lot of the work in Kaizen Consciousness, rooted in Kaizen principles, really is about self-mastery and self-leadership. Now that you lead, what does this look like? Well, as a leader, the first thing is you start to stabilize your own mood because you realize that you can't make other people responsible for your emotional well-being. You're the boss, you are in charge, and your job is to inspire. That means you can't come in and have moodiness on a Monday morning and people bring you great ideas and your mood gets in the way of all this. You will also be more motivated. That means you're going to have a little bit more energy, which also means you're going to be more positive as you start to lead all of your people and your company forward. You begin to have honest conversations with people. Honest in the sense of you practice conscious listening, which I've also done a video on, which means you're totally aware of what's going on with people. Doesn't mean everything, but you know who they are and you respect them for who they are. And as you start to move into this world, your leadership skills are going to create a better sense of well-being amongst your employees or amongst the workers that you're in charge of. You will also, to very naturally, begin to exercise empathy. And that is the foundational set of character traits for what is known as conscious leadership. That's what you're going to bring to the game by having this self-leadership. You are going to be conscious of what's going on and who you're interacting with. And all of these people, because you have this newfound state of energy, are going to want to be around you more. So they're going to want to perform for you more because you're going to inspire them to be themselves more, which means they're going to be happy. Another place to look when you're practicing this new conscious leadership is to look at your why. This is your higher purpose value. That means you start to identify not only what you're doing, how you're doing it, yes, why you're doing it, but it's even more than that. The fact that you are doing it is attuned to a higher purpose. Now, by being a conscious leader, the people that you're around are going to see that, and they're going to start to understand the why of all of this the same way you do, and they are going to want to help you fulfill this. That's the magic formula. Now, to be fair, it can be very lonely at the top, no doubt. So you create and find what is known as a mastermind. These are people that are of the same type of mindset to begin with, and secondly, they have the same sort of responsibilities, so that now you can go in there and talk about what it is that bothers you. You know, it's like a therapist having to see a therapist. So this conscious leadership will make you a better leader, and it will ultimately help you to get your people to be more of who they are instead of just a cog in the machine. So good luck, and I hope you practice these Kaizen principles. So thanks for watching another episode of Kai-Zen Consciousness, where the possibilities are endless.